Jay, talk about speaking at events like this when you come back in an area you're familiar with and talking to Louisiana high school coaches, and what it the purpose that it serves for a college coach to be able to do this.
Well, I think every coach, to be honest with you, has a responsibility to give and share as much information as that you have. And of course, other people did that for me. I'm not smart enough myself to figure out a lot of innovative type stuff, but I've stolen, and that's a relative term. But I've been given this information over the time, and this is a way that coaches get better. They come to summer clinics and attend work, maybe basketball camps in our case. Of course, I'm speaking across the board for the other sports as well. So this is a great opportunity for coaches to learn and to grow professionally, and I think it's my responsibility as someone that was a high school coach for 20 years and has been fortunate to have an opportunity to move up into the college ranks. It's important that we give back. So I'm very thankful to the LHSCA for having me today. This is a great recruiting area, and of course, from my time at Southeastern, I was able to learn to really love this area, and so many of these high school coaches that do just an incredible job. So it's also kind of a good homecoming. So I'm glad to be here today.
What is it? You put yourself in the seats, if you will, for a minute, as someone who's been to these things before. What is it that maybe you see them looking to glean out of a couple of days of coming to sessions like this, and how does that affect the message that you present?
Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of sharing among the coaches, and that was one of the things you may not see a coach from North Louisiana on a daily basis, but you can come when you come to and spend a day or two or three, whichever it may be, that here at a clinic like this, you have an opportunity they may do a great job up there, and they'll pick your brain. And there's a lot of information sharing that goes on in these hotel rooms late at night of coaches sharing information and ideas with one another, and you feel a lot more comfortable about sharing it with people that you don't play against on a normal basis, right? And so that's one thing. But the second thing, you get an opportunity for a lot of college coaches to come in, and just because someone's coaching in college doesn't mean that they necessarily know more basketball, but they a lot of times will have different types of ideas, maybe a little higher in thinking, so to speak. And that's what I always got out of it. But I always thought to myself, if I could just pick up one thing that was going to help myself professionally or help my team and my program when I was coaching in high school, these things are worth it. But you also get much more than that. And then there's just the general professional camaraderie that you have. You get a chance to see a lot of old friends and really across all the sports. So this is a neat program, and I'm glad to see that it is so successful and doing so well.
Southern Miss, one full year now in the Sun Belt, and obviously you come over this way now to play in Lafayette, to play in Monroe. So the thoughts on year one in the league, and then how it affects coming into Louisiana, developing those rivalries with those two Louisiana schools.
Well, I think you're hitting on something that I'm speaking really for the entire Southern Miss family, and it's been a great move for us. And Louisiana, of course, and Southern Miss, and of course used to be Northeast Louisiana, UL Monroe now. They've been rivals of Southern Miss many years ago, well, before you and I. And so now to play them inside of our conference and league, I know when we played Louisiana last year, we had a great crowd from Hattiesburg, follow us to Lafayette. When they returned the game to Hattiesburg late in the season, was sold out arena, fifth largest crowd in Southern Miss history. There was a lot of red in there that day too, so it allows for those rivalries, and I think it's just a neat thing. And we didn't have that in Conference USA. It had great competition, but there was no way, because the league was so spread out, that the fan bases could travel. And so I think first and foremost, to have Louisiana and Monroe all together now, we're not very far apart, and to play inside of our league is really neat.